Hey guys, RhinoRatesMusic here, and in this video we're going to be doing a review of the brand new Sigrid album, How to Let Go. This is the new sophomore album from Norwegian indie singer-songwriter Sigrid, who broke out into the scene in 2019 with her debut album Sucker Punch, with, thanks to big singles like Strangers, really won over a lot of fans in the indie community and kind of blew away some with her blends of indie pop as well as some styles of European dance pop, and it really did go over well in a lot of ways, and Sigrid's vocals were really something that stood out to me, but there was something with the way she would produce and the way she would kind of blend those vocals, her unique vocals, with some of her songwriting and weakness within some of her poetry that kind of did wear a little bit thin on some of the tracks here. But still, like I said, her vocals were really something that shined to me, and because of that, because of some of the stuff she did last year, and because of the singles leading up to this album, I was actually looking forward to this album. Because yeah, the singles to this album express a lot of personality and versatility, sonically and thematically. For example, we had the song Burning Bridges, which is a hard-hitting, powerful anthem about cutting ties and letting loose with this relationship you're going through, and that's clearly what this album is about. It's a breakup album, but it also, by the title, tries to act like a tutorial on how to overcome the heartbreak and the intense emotions that may come with such an action. And I think Burning Bridges is the ultimate song that really does it well on here. We also have the song Mirror, which is a very anthemic dance pop banger thanks to the strings laid in the chorus, the piano, the guitars all go great, and I love the lyrics about it, just self-motivation, looking at yourself in the mirror and just being happy with yourself, which I think is a very relatable song to a lot of people. We have the song It Gets Dark, which, despite the title, is one of the starkest but also most layered and beautiful songs Sigrid has ever made. There's a lot of great passages going on with the production, from the opening strings, the loopy guitar chords that kind of really comes for a somewhat catchy chorus. It really does pop in your head, it really does, and the lyrics basically meaning how you will not be able to see any sort of light until you see darkness first, hence the chorus. So this is one of the songs that really does express some more clever songwriting from Sigrid compared to her last album. And we have the song Bad Life with Bring Me the Horizon, which, while yes, Oliver Sky's vocals do come in a little bit too early because it starts off with a more low-key, simple piano chord, which Sigrid fits perfectly in, and then we have Oliver come in. But as soon as the rest of the band kicks in and Oliver and Sigrid's vocals merge together, it's a banger, and again, really catchy chorus. It's just a bad day, not a bad life. So yeah, with these singles, obviously I was really looking forward to this album, and given how versatile they were and how much more bolder they were compared to some songs from Sucker Punch, I was really looking forward to this album, hoping for that same sort of energy and versatility to be expressed in the deep cuts on this album. Unfortunately, that just really wasn't the case, and it really shows that the singles here are really some of the best songs this album has to offer. Because what these singles succeeded in and improved on from some of the weaknesses that were shown on Sigrid's debut album are either just not present on some of the deep cuts, or are present but in a more cut and dry or one-dimensional manner, or just express Sigrid trying too hard or the producers trying too hard. This is true on songs like Risk of Getting Hurt, which vocally is another standout moment from Sigrid and really shows that she knows how to hit the high notes and she knows how to sing loudly while still staying in tune. But I think that's ultimately also one of the problems with this song. Her vocals are so loud, it kind of overdubs what the instrumental is trying to offer. And what the instrumental is trying to offer is not that great. The percussion sounds minimal and drabby as hell, and the guitar chords are mixed awfully. Like, what's going on here? Seriously. We have the song Thank Me Later, which is a bit more cleaned up in terms of the production, but nothing really that stands out in terms of the instrumental progression or the layering compared to the singles, and it's one of the weaker vocal performances from Sigrid, honestly. And then we have those a couple of moments where Sigrid tries to get acoustic on the songs Last to Know as well as Grow, which does give some room for her vocals to shine and also some room for a singer-songwriter ability to show, but it also shows that she's still got a long way to go in terms of some of her poetry as well as songwriting, as some of the songwriting here just comes across either just a little bit too plain or a little bit too much where you're thinking, yeah, I've heard this in about like 20 other indie songs. Even though I do appreciate the chorus on the song Grow, and I do appreciate how she's really trying to bring out the Elliott Smith or Nick Drake influence here, but it's just not coming across as good as I think she would have hoped. But thankfully, there are still a couple of highlights here within the deep cuts, like the song A Driver Saved My Night, which the lyrical content here is about as simple as your night going badly or not having a good night until you hear one of your favorite songs playing on the radio. One of the most relatable songs on this album. Despite how simple the context is, it's just so relatable, you gotta love it. And the synth chords within the verses and the bridges really add a lot of flavor to this. And the song High Note, which I do think ends this album on a high note, because this is the closing track and it really shows how the struggles of keeping up with time. As time's moving, you don't realize how fast the rest of life is moving as well and how fast you're growing up. And I think this is done well both lyrically, instrumentally, and vocally. So aside from that and a lot of the singles, which do a great job at balancing out Sigrid's insane and undeniable vocal talents with her simple, relatable songwriting, as well as some of the elements of the production used. And I think the production on this album is a step up from the production from Sucker Punch, but there are just still a lot of moments here that just really could have either been left off or really could have been cleaned up a little bit better, because what the singles provide here, most of the other songs here are just either missing or just really wanting to provide but failing to, or falling flat on its face. Whether that may be because there's one element of the song that's good and the other that's not good, or just because all the elements coming through just come across a bit generic. So yeah, overall, while I think this is still quite a good album from Sigrid, and I'm still looking forward to seeing what she does next, this album doesn't really land as well as I hoped it would, based off how excited I was for the singles and based off the talent Sigrid clearly has in the indie community. And I hope that she, in between this time and the time it takes for her to make her next album, I hope she can still keep maintaining that attention and maintain the eyes that are currently watching her, because I think she is an artist worth looking out for, even if I thought this album could have been a lot better. So that's why I'm giving it a strong 6 out of 10. Well, thank you guys for watching this review. If you guys enjoyed, let me know with a like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you thought of this album. What was your favorite track? What was your least favorite track? Let me know. But until then, guys, I will catch you in the next Rhino Rates Music video or review. So stay tuned and have a good day. This is Rhino Rates Music signing out. Bye-bye.